Hey everyone, this is Heather, and this is going to be a quick video on how you could have played GME and AMC to gain huge profits today. I just wanted to, since GME and AMC ran a lot today, GME increased by about 14%, AME about 20%, and their options contracts are up pretty massively. So I just wanted to create a video on how you could have gone into both AMC and GME and gotten huge profits as well. So let's start. So the first thing that we can see here is AMC again increased 20% and GME increased 14% or about 15%. And what we are going to do is we are going to see what were some of the setups on the chart and where you would have entered if you were looking at both of these stocks. But before that, I really want to show you something amazing here. So our Bullseye tool, which is an intraday signals tool, it actually posted both of these signals with high confidence today. So let's look at GME. You can see that it has been posting about GME for quite a while, and GME has been steadily going up. So 161, it didn't go up here, but 63, 75, 72, 77, and then finally today it posted the signal on 190, and the stock right now is at about 210. And you can see that yesterday when a bullish signal was posted, the confidence was only about 51%, which is slightly low. So our bar for high confidence threshold is above 60%, and that's exactly what we got today. We got a 61.3% confidence signal for a call buy, and the stock at that time was just at 190. This contract is up about 300% right now, and this was actually posted today at 10:29 a.m. Similarly for AMC, you can see that the stock expectation was bearish. This just means that the price action, there are no clear bullish setups, but the tool was still asking us to buy a call, and you can see the same here. Yesterday the prediction had a 51% confidence, the day before that say 54, but today we had a 64.2% confidence, which is again very large. So anything above 60 is a very high confidence score, and this contract is about 100% up. So this is not 53. This was, I think this is going to get updated tomorrow morning, so this might be up maybe 100-200% as well. And this was posted later in the day, but again high confidence. The stock was at 15 at that time. The stock right now, let's quickly see, is at 16.5. I think after market it's up about 3% as well. So just wanted to highlight how when the confidence score suddenly increases for the Bullseye tool, you have to keep an eye on the price action to see if there is an entry there, and then you need to enter there, because many of our members entered into both of these plays today, and the total profits among all our members were about 20 to 30k today, which is a huge amount. So just trying to sort of show you the significance of the tool, but let's actually dive into the price action and see where were some of the good setups today. So I'm going to start with AMC, and since we are doing intraday trading here, I'm going to open up the 15-minute chart. If you draw the support and resistance lines, you can either use the button, or we can actually see that this level right here has been acting as a resistance line for quite some time. So we touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we went below it 6. So we touched the same level 6 times. And you have to remember that if we keep touching a support or resistance level, we eventually break it. And the more times we touch a level, the better the breakout is. And since we had touched this level 6 times, that's why we got such a beautiful breakout today. So the signal came in somewhere around at this resistance level. So the signal came in here, but I still want to discuss sort of how the overall price action was looking throughout the day. So let's actually zoom in. Alright, so this is all the price action from today. So you can see that today at 9:30, the very first candle, we went above the resistance level. We broke out, and look at the volume. So whenever we are breaking out, you always want to look at the volume. The volume has to be high on a breakout. If it's not, then that might be a fake out and you don't want to enter. And you can notice another thing. We actually closed above this resistance level. So you have to close above a level in order for you to consider that the level has been broken. Then we dipped at the very next candle, but we did not really break the level. So we stayed above it, and then we just continued going up. So since the signal came somewhere around here and you did not have a signal at here, you could still have entered into AMC calls, let's say at around this point in time, or maybe this point in time, because this was a dip and then we started going up again. And you can see that all day we never crossed below this level. So that's how you want to play the support and resistance level. This was a resistance. Once it was crossed, it became a support level, and now you should have just entered right here, and then all day you would have gone from, let's see, about 14 to 16.5. So that's again, that's $2.5 increase in shares, but that's like 203% increase in options. The next, the signal came somewhere around here, right? And you can see that as soon as the signal came, we broke the next resistance level, and that is the next resistance level. You can see the next resistance level is here, and this level, when we were actually sort of breaking it, this level was actually this one. Now the algorithm is drawing this line because after we broke out, we actually dipped somewhere around here instead of dipping at the very sort of bottom at this level. So this was the next resistance level. At this candle, look at the volume again. We tried to break it, and the very next candle we actually broke above it. So these two candles were the breakout of the next resistance level. And when we did that, that would be your second entry. And if you had gone into any of these two entries, again, you would have netted at least 100% profits today on short-term AMC calls. So that's a really nice setup. The third setup, there was actually another setup. I'm going to remove it. The third setup was the break of this triangle. So you can see this triangle forming, right? The third setup was right. Let me zoom in again. All right. So the third setup was here, because you can see we were forming this triangle, and look at the volume. We went up. Now when we are forming this triangle, the volume goes low. So whenever you are dipping after a breakout, you want to see lower volume. That's a textbook breakout setup, because if the volume on the dip is large as well, that means that might be a fake out, and all the people that just bought on the breakout because the volume was so high, they're just selling it right away. So you don't want to see higher volume, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. On this small consolidation, the volume is low. Then on these breakout candles again, you can see the volume picks up again. So we had 3 breakouts within the same day, and you could have played all 3 of them. So just wanted to go through the intraday chart to show everyone how to sort of play these setups intraday and how to profit out of them. I hope this is going to be useful. Now let's take a look at GME. All right, so I'm going to first draw the support and resistance levels. All right. So I'm going to first draw these levels on the daily chart, and we can see that there was a level that we crossed about 2 days ago, and the next level is actually here. So on the daily chart, it looks like we had already crossed a support level. So if you were doing a swing trade, you would have actually entered somewhere around here. But you can see that we never crossed above this level. So this is actually a slightly better resistance level as compared to what the algorithm drew. But you can see that we did not really cross this level. We tried to cross it yesterday, but we closed below it. Today, we actually opened above it. So that was a good sign. So that just means that we have now crossed that level. So you might want to enter now. But since this was an intraday trade, it would have been okay to just wait for, let's say, the first 15 minutes to close above the level in order for you to consider that it's a successful breakout. So on the daily, it looks like we already sort of crossed the level a little bit, but let's take a look at the intraday chart. I think that's a lot more clear. All right, on the intraday chart, let's first draw the lines. Okay, so I was going to draw this line, but the algorithm has already drawn it for us. So you can see that we touched it here. So this was the resistance line at 190 and May 19. So then we went down, and then we touched it again here on May 24 yesterday. And you can see we started to consolidate here. We did not go up, we did not go down. We started to sort of consolidate. So I would have expected a breakout somewhere around here, but we did not get it. So whenever you see consolidation areas right beneath the resistance levels, then there is a good chance that we might break out of that region, and those breakouts are always good. But we did not do that. Instead, we actually went down a little bit, fell on this anchored VWAP support, and then started to go up. We again tried to break out of this resistance level, but we couldn't. Then finally today, one of these candles actually broke out of the resistance, and this would have been your entry, because you can see that we actually closed above the resistance level. In order for a breakout to be valid, you have to close above that resistance level, which we did. So this or this candle would have been your entry. Now you can see that in just the next 3 candles, we actually went down, but then we regained control, and then we kept going up. So that's where you need to always add a little bit of margin beneath your newly formed support as your stop loss. So if, let's say, we crossed, all right, let me zoom. Let's say we cross this level and you have your stop loss set at the very same level, then what you're going to see is as soon as the price dips, you're going to get stopped out, which is why you always want to give some leeway to the price so that it can move and not stop you out. So you maybe set your stop loss levels somewhere around here. All right, so this was a breakout and you could have entered here. Sure, that seems good. That would have been your first entry. And that's actually, yeah, today. So the signal already came when this breakout happened. So you could have entered right here, or you could have waited, and you can see that we actually went down. We started to go back up again, and then we formed this resistance level. So this was an intraday resistance level. You can see it was not there anywhere else. So this was just an intraday resistance level. This was nothing else. And when you're doing intraday trading, you also want to keep an eye on these newly formed support and resistance levels during the day. So you can see that today we formed this level at about 10:45. Then we kept consolidating, but remember we had a bullseye signal that was telling us that there might be a good opportunity to buy calls today. So the first opportunity was sure somewhere around here, and all this time your calls would have been about break even. They would not have, let's say, gotten 100-200% profits, but they would still be okay. You wouldn't be in loss. So you keep your calls. You don't sort of get out because you want to trust the artificial intelligence tools. So let's say at this point in time, you can see that, look at the volume again. We had low volume in all this consolidation area. We had high volume on these breakouts. And then finally, the volume picked up. So at this very candle, you can see that we broke out of the intraday resistance. And as soon as we did that, that would have been your entry again. And again, always look at the volume. You can see the volume had a huge uptick in it as compared to the last few candles. So that would have been your second entry right here. And then after that, there was no other entry. Similar to AMC, we are forming a triangle here. So let's see where we open up or close, where we open up tomorrow morning. But this is a very similar triangle as compared to AMC. So we are forming it here, but on AMC we actually had a third setup as well. On GME we only had two. So we have discussed 5 different setups in the same day on just 2 stocks where our Bullseye tool had given buy call signals. And I just wanted to create this video to help new users or even more experienced people on how to actually go into these signals, because the tool gives these signals and we do not recommend that you enter right away. You should always wait until there is a setup on the price action, because what the tool is predicting is that the price of the contract is going to go up in the next 1 or 2 days. Now you don't know when that price is going to go up. You just know that the price is potentially going to go up. So you need to wait for the perfect entry on the price action or on the chart, and that's why we are creating so many videos these days on the topic before you actually go in. And if you do that, then your reward to risk ratio is the highest, as we just saw here. So I hope many of you went into GME and AMC today. I'm really happy for all those who went in. I think there were so many profits today, and I hope this is a useful video for everyone. Thank you so much for watching it. I'll see you guys around.